What's up, guys? This is Audie Murphy, and welcome back. Tonight we are going to Marche in part 3 of our Company of Heroes 2 Ardennes Assault walkthrough. Now, Marche is located on the northwestern part of the German pocket, bordered on one side by Allied controlled territory, and on the south and the eastern flank by German controlled territory. However, there aren't too many German armies running around down there, and so if we can crush this one-star army where it lies, we'll have a much easier time of taking over the northwestern part of this pocket. Now, this is a victory point mission, which is going to require us to hold on to 2 out of 3 of the victory points on this map until the Germans are ticked down to 0 and forced to withdraw from this part of their territory. I haven't done this mission before, and we are moving in here with a relatively unscathed airborne regiment, which I haven't actually used in battle yet, and so is still rather untested. So I'm going in with a fresh regiment into a fresh mission that I haven't done before, and I have my doubts that they're going to be able to walk out on the other end of this one and remain as unscathed as they've stayed so far in this campaign.
Listen, we got 60 seconds to form up. This is how it'll shake out. We gotta hit Oberkommando West and keep them busy here while other forces hit adjacent AOs. Don't let me down. Let's go.
The Germans are already set up in key locations. Expect stiff resistance right out of the gates.
And we have LT Vastano there, commanding the regiment in his Brooklyn accent, which is pretty well done, I think. I'm going to go ahead and get some riflemen up and get an LT up as well, so we can start moving up the tech chain. Meanwhile, I'm going to move with my NGs here down into the south manpower point and begin capping up that flank as I grab my riflemen, which are just popping out here, and guide them up the western flank towards that VP, and hopefully get a flip on that, because we are still ticking down here now at the very beginning of the map, as the Germans do control that point right out of the gate. They also have some built-in defenses here that are scattered around the map already, so I'm going to need to be very careful. I can't play this like a regular 1v1 and just cap freely, because they are going to have some units already dug in that would probably make short work of my lone NGs if I were to let them off the chain. And as we see here already, right off the bat, my riflemen moving in and catching contact with a squad of dug-in Volks. Those are long-range Volks, and those KAR-91s are going to make short work of my riflemen as they move in there. Even though they're best at long range, they are still quite accurate. And with 6 of them firing all at once, they are able to take out 2 riflemen right off the bat. And that is not a great start for me here, folks, as I am still moving up these NGs. Fortunately, they haven't run into anybody on that side quite yet, but it probably won't be too long now. So I have these 3 riflemen back in my base. I'm going to go ahead and get them reinforced back up. And I'm just going to move in here while they're reinforcing with my captain, with my LT, and with the backup rifle squad. Moving with the LT first to try to soak some of that damage. But wow, though they are chopping that LT down with fairly good effectiveness. However, even though he is going to take some casualties right off the bat, I'm going to move in with the rest of my forces and finish off those Germans. So we are down to, it looks like, just two members of that LT squad. I'm going to go ahead and retreat them back and get them reinforced up. Still not really what I'd call a great start, taking a lot of casualties right off the bat. And I'm already seeing my company's integrity tick down on that blue bar as a result of that. And yep, sure enough, here on the right-hand side, we are running into some threats with my rear echelon troops there, and I'm going to go ahead and back them off and disengage from that contact, as they are not powerful enough to take on the Germans with just the 4 of them in their squad and some lightweight weapons. I do now have an ambulance making the field. Looks like those Germans have gone ahead and backed up into this house here and taken some cover inside. I'm going to go ahead and surround him and try to put some fire on him with my infantry. Get that captain into green cover there, and I have my riflemen, as you see, in green cover on the right. I don't have grenades quite yet, but oh wow, those riflemen are taking casualties right off the gate as they are running in there through red cover and then through no cover at all. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull my captain back there, as he did soak up a lot of damage from that little engagement. And there are still Germans in that house, still putting down fire on my troops, still dropping my riflemen. Jesus, almost like flies. I'm wishing I had gone grenades there. But at this point, this is really a full commit. I have enough rifles firing on them to down them, but unfortunately we have more Germans moving in here on my flank. Those are close range troops, but those rifles are already very, very low. I'm going to need to go ahead and retreat those guys out of there. And fortunately, those Germans now coming out of the house and trying to cap that point, I'm going to be able to shoot 2 of them in the back and make short work of the rest of that squad and force them to the retreat the field. So I have my LT coming back up here to help try and reinforce. I'm still very manpower light and population light in that part of the map as I'm trying to hold that down, but the Germans are coming now in pretty good force. I'm going to go ahead and retreat all of the, or excuse me, reinforce all of these troops here and try to get them back to the front as quickly as possible. You see, I do have that medic wagon there that is going to be able to reinforce and heal my troops on the field, so that's going to be a great boon for me, and I need to go ahead and get all my troops into its perimeter there for that to be effective. I do have another rifleman now coming out onto the field.
Rifle squad ready for action.
And I'm going to go ahead and move them up to the front as well to help reinforce that central point.
Moving out. Let's go. What the hell am I meant to do with these recruits? Green as green can be.
It looks like most of these troops are pretty close to full health, and unfortunately that heal ability is now down and on a timer, so I'm going to go ahead and move those troops out and have them move as a bulk and try to take down any Germans that are coming through the western, or excuse me, the eastern part of the map. But I see there on the mini-map that actually on the western point of the map they are now challenging that VP, so I'm going to need to reallocate some troops to that side. My troops, meanwhile, on the eastern flank are running into a looks like a squad of Volks with a Panzerschreck, as well as that Jeep, which is going to get taken down after a little bit of suppression that it puts out. That Volk squad is still firing on my riflemen, and I'm going to need to deal with them. I think that they're in a good enough position to deal with them, however, as I move in here on the western flank with my pair of riflemen and take down those Germans that are assaulting that VP. However, that captain is a close-range squad. He's not firing at ideal range. I'm not going to be able to take out those Germans completely. I am going to be able to pursue these Germans on the other flank, however, and chase them towards the southern part of the map and hopefully isolate, surround, and destroy them. And they are going to try to duck into a house, and being cheeky and ducking out the other side of it and then going on the retreat. I'm going to try to give chase here and try to take out that last Volks with the Shrek, and I think I did actually cannon there on the retreat. Meanwhile, on the western flank here, we see here that I've moved up and actually taken on that mortar squad that was putting fire down on that VP, and I'm going to go ahead and capture that mortar and get that into a firing position behind my lines. And get it in a position to rain down some hell on the Germans. That is a very nice mortar for the Americans to have, as it is going to do a little bit more damage than the American base mortar. So I now do have a Stuart on the field, which is going to be a great help for me in taking on the bulk of these German infantry. As with the and is that is going to put a little bit of a hamper on that early light tank. As you see here, they do have a scout car that is upgunned with a tank killer gun that is going to be able to pop down some proper shots on that Stuart. This AA gun, however, is not going to be able to do much to that Stuart light tank, and that Stuart is going to move in and start putting down some shots on it. Unfortunately, those rifles not exactly securing a good advance line and getting pinned down as they try to advance up into it, losing 2 guys along the way. It looks like here on the western flank I have some Germans trying to move in, get a little bit cheeky, and put some fire down on that VP, but I'm dug in pretty well over there. I'm not too concerned about them really pushing in at this point. Unfortunately, this is a problem, as they have snuck all the way around and are actually putting fire on my mortar and on my medic wagon, and I don't have any troops there to prevent that from happening. They're shooting at my mortar squad, and I'm forced to continue to reinforce my mortar squad from that half track, so they're not going to die. But that is going to be a steady drain on my manpower and on my company strength, unfortunately. And you see here, oh wow, that AC car now moving in and putting shots on my Stuart, which is the worst target that I want him to be firing at right now. I need to get that Stuart out of harm's way as quickly as possible. Oh, and he is going to cripple that Stuart, and the next shot is going to do it for him. Ouch. And that is a big problem, folks, as that took a big chunk out of my regiment's strength there, and also really crippled my advance on that side. I do have this captain to deal with this car, but man, that Stuart was not in a great position. He really used that AC well, and it's still trying to back up, still trying to get out of harm's way as I'm moving up with something that can take it down. But I just don't have anything in the vicinity that can put that one last shot on it. It is crippled, but it's still at about half strength, and even a sticky bomb there wouldn't do much more than it, you know, it's already damaged. It already has a crippled engine, so I mean, a sticky bomb there isn't really going to do anything. And my LT isn't able to throw sticky bombs anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and push up there with my LT and just get some capping done. As unfortunately I'm forced to let that AC slink off into the mist after downing my my light tank. So this is not a great turn of events here. And wow, even this mortar squad is now taking shots as most of my troops are behind the lines and trying to get some health back. So I'm going to bring another Stuart out with a heavy heart and hope that this Stuart can do a little bit more than his friend did. I think they have some AT now over there as well, so I'm going to need to be very conservative with this remaining Stuart, and I don't think I'm going to have the opportunity to bring out any other armor in this match, as it would just take, it would be too big of a risk really for me to, you know, I can take a few manpower losses, and as it is, I'm in pretty much total control of the map. But bringing armor out at this point would be a risk that I don't think I'd be willing to take. I'm just going to use that Stuart and have it patrol around there, keep any Germans off that flank, because I push in with the bulk of my inventory here and focus fire on that scout bike that's putting down some suppression fire and take that out, prevent my men from getting pinned down. And then I'm going to go ahead and move in on that light armor and try to take that down. As you see it there, maneuvering wildly to try to get out of my rifle grenade range and out of that captain range. But it is going to get popped by a combination of that sticky bomb and some very nice long range bazooka fire from that captain. And the Germans now are in pretty deep trouble as I've pushed them back pretty far, and I don't think that there's any more threats here other than this AT for my light tank to worry about. I'm going to go ahead and just flank around and proceed to circle as I put fire, and try to, as I move in with infantry there, to really apply the killing blow. Unfortunately, I really wasn't able to do much with that light tank, effective specifically to that AT gun, but I am going to be able to move in there with the captain and take that out pretty quickly. I do still have some Germans operating behind my line, so I'm going to need to deal with them as soon as possible. I think I'm just going to go ahead and bring my light tank back and chase them around a little bit. They don't have any Shreks or anything to deal with that light tank, and I do have a mortar also in range that's going to be able to put some range down on them. I'm going to go ahead and reinforce my LT and continue chasing these Germans around with this light tank, as they're just really just running for their lives at this point, trying to evade the gun on that light tank, which is creeping around on them. Oh, here, and I do see a priority target for my captains, for them to shoot their bazookas at. I'm going to go ahead and pop them into this house here and give them some cover and give them some elevation fire at that cannon. And you see they're getting some nice rear shots on them from that house. And the second one is actually going to do it. Wow, that actually worked a lot better than I thought it would. I don't even really need this AT gun at this point, but I'm just going to go ahead and bring it up to deal with any additional vehicles that may emerge to threaten my troops here. And I think that this is pretty much wrapped up. You see here, I've got full control of the map, and as that is the case, it's been taken down very, very quickly here, quicker even than I kind of figured. I've just been fighting for the map, and that is pretty much it, though.
Assaults all over are going our way, thanks to you guys.
So I fought a very aggressive run there, and did lose a lot of manpower, and lost another mortar there, just as the mission terminates. But the Germans are in full retreat now, and the mission is complete. So like I said, that was a very aggressive run, and I did lose a lot of troops there. Honestly, I'm not sure if playing so aggressively was a great move on my part, but that will be for the history books to decide. Thanks for watching, guys. Go ahead and check out the next part of this walkthrough here. And there's also lots of other cool videos on this channel as well. We're going to be doing some COH 1v1s and 2v2s, some shoutcasts and stuff with a good buddy of mine coming up soon. So stay tuned for that stuff. And in the meantime, keep going with this walkthrough and check out all these other awesome videos. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. So yeah, just click any of these videos, guys, and it'll take you right there, I promise.